Welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is all about drip trees and reductive tree. I'm going to show you two different ways of how I do my trees. This is one of the things that one of my more popular workshops that I do in Artisan Expo coming up pretty soon in Santa Fe, and also at Art of the Carolinas. Oh my gosh, that's so great, and that's always in Raleigh. So these are the two workshops that I'll be doing, and let's get right into the materials. Let me show you the materials. I'm going to be doing acrylic paint. These are the Holbein acrylic paints. I have my Fabriano paper. I love my watercolor paper. This is 300-pound Fabriano paper, all right? So let me start off with number one, the first one. I'm going to do two. The first one is a mess. I love making a mess. And this is a good lesson to learn in case you do a tree or any kind of a painting and it's an abstract and it just turns into a mess. Don't stop, don't fret. I'm going to show you how to do some negative shape painting, also known as reductive tree painting. So let's start off with the mess. I have my watercolor paper. I have large, big brushes, paper towels, a lot of water here. We're going to start off with just paint all over the crazy place. Yay, fun. All over the place. Lots of water, lots of acrylic paint. Throw it all over the place. I love doing all this. Who knows how it's going to turn out? Start off really, really, really crazy wet. I'm even going to put in some yellow in here right now. Why not? Put a little bit of yellow right in here. Wet the brush. Always wet the brush first with water. Oh, wow, look at these. This is going to be a beautiful color. Under every great painting, I always like to say it's a great abstract painting first. So start off crazy, just like this. Throw a little bit of water all over the place. And now we're going to let it dry, because now I'm going to go to the other technique. Two techniques. This is making a mess, but right now I'm going to do the drip tree. It's a great way to start at the beginning. Here we go. Let that dry for a little bit. I'm going to bring in the drip tree. Let's start. We're going to be doing two paints all at the same time. I love that stuff. So here we go. One of the things I like to do is wipe a color over the entire surface. I'm even going to take a little bit of hot pink, that opera, crazy stuff, right? Look at that, wonderful. More yellow, acrylic. I'm really on a roll now. I'm going to add more opera, hot pink. Make it crazy, don't make it normal. Anybody can do a normal painting. Let's have one a little more creativity. Now this is what I do at this point, because I rubbed it in. It's fairly dry because I rubbed it in. Now this is where you do what I like to call my drip trees. So I'm wetting a lot of acrylic down with a big brush. Put a lot up in here, just a lot. Whew, whew. Put a little blue, more water. That's pretty wet. Now, here we go. Fantastic. Help it out with, oh, look at that, how that turned out. That's great. So we have lots of little ones in here. One big one over here. And now we're gonna let it dry, and we'll come back to it and do it again with a different color. So we'll have all these different colors. So usually it looks like this at the very beginning. Pretty simple. And I'm going to start building up more colors, more colors. Let it dry in between. Oh my gosh, even more colors. Just keep building it up, building it up. And eventually it gets to the point where it has so many colors and it's all dripping. It's just great. And then you let it dry. Let me show you what I do next. So now that I've made the mess, I'm going to put it aside, let it dry. Why do I do a mess? These trees here, this painting, started out as a mess. It was completely gone. Here's another one. completely gone. I overpainted it. Don't freak out. You can always save it. I'm going to show you how to save it. These trees here are the other way, the drip trees. You can see variations of drip trees here too, where I put a lot of paint on it and let it drip down. You'll see behind me variations of this. I'm still working on these. So here we have some more drip trees. I love it. Lots of different colors, not just one color. Here's another drip tree. This here over here happened to have been one of those messes. Here's a drip tree. Here's one. I'm going to get started on it right away. This will be a drip tree. I'm going to do some negative shape painting. Let's get started. Always start with a big brush, a wide brush. No tiny little hair. You can't do anything with a brush like that. Big brush, bold, strong. Now let me show you about some negative shape painting. Here's one where I put a lot of paint on the top and let it drip down. Now it's dried. Now I'm going to do some negative shape painting. I'm going to take white. That's what makes the paint so opaque. There we go. Fantastic. So I happen to like the orange-red background. It's almost like it's sunset. So now I'm going to get rid of the part that doesn't look like trees. This is the part where I just make it all up. You see where they're coming? They're coming alive. That tree is coming alive. I also don't worry about my color wheel at this point. I'm looking at the graphic shapes of this, making the tree an interesting shape. So I don't want them all to be the same. Look, different colored backgrounds. They look like tree branches after a while. Different sizes. Even that color that's way in the background looks like a tree way far away. See? Here. And the dark ones come forward. The light ones recede and go away. See, they go far away. The dark trees come forward. And I work all the way across. Has a nice tempo. Loose, abstract, all the way across, working like that. So I'm looking at contrast, mostly contrast. I like to leave one area open a little bit. It's a little whiter, almost like the sun's right behind it, or the moon's. Look at how it glows behind it a little bit. Gives it even more contrast. So it's not the same color all the way across. One spot is going to be the brightest. Better known as the focal point. See how it starts to glow? I work all over at the same time. Don't stay in one area. Gives it that wonderful excitement. Now these are like little forest trees. And now I need to do the top parts too. Let's do the top. These are little small trees. Quiet trees, all right? Very graphic. Now, right now they're pretty solid, almost looking like lollipops. So you want to open it up a little bit with sky holes, and this is where the drip comes in, nice and wet, really wet, and you drop droplets like this. It opens it up a little bit. We call them sky holes, right? Let the birds fly in. Don't have them all the same size either. There we go. And that's how I open up the trees. I'm just doing one section here. Just one section. Paint with my fingers too at the same time. So that's how I develop my trees for the drip trees. Now let's go to the singular tree. The same thing, but different. So here's the painting. It's pretty much dried by now. This was that mess. I'm going to turn it into a single tree. This looks like an old oak tree, which I love so much. It has a lot of character. Alrighty, really old, looks like it comes alive. So let's see if I can do that with this mess. Alrighty, so remember, mess on one side, not on the other side. I have some double back tape. Stick it on the back here, and I put it on the table so it doesn't slide around all the time like that. Now I'm going to get rid of the part that doesn't look like a tree. So I have a lot of white, titanium white, or even gesso. It's very opaque. So now I do negative shape painting. Here we go. I mix some yellow in here, a little bit of that opera, give it kind of that glow, that orange pink. Oh yeah. So there's a tree in here somewhere. Here we go. I'm going to make sure that this is the ground and the tree is here. Here we go. Now this takes a little bit of visualization too at the same time. You have to pretend you really see a tree in here. So you get rid of the part that doesn't look like a tree. So I'm painting the ground and the tree at the same time. They have a lot of personality. These old funky trees. They've been around for about 100 years or so. Now I'm going to get rid of this part. I don't need it. Just like that. So I look at the shape, make sure I like the shape. Let's get some tree trunks in here. Tree branches are branching out. There we go. Maybe up in here opens up a little bit more. So this is all about painting negative shape painting. Negative shapes. Rubbing with my fingers here a lot too. I love that. And there's also painting upside down. You can see it quicker. Branches in between. There we go. Open it up a little bit more up in here in the sky. This is just the beginning. I wanted to show you the beginning. I'm not going to finish the whole tree, but it's pretty close. So I make sure that the tree has a whole lot of personality. You know, we make it all up. I'll see you at Artisan in Santa Fe or Art of the Carolinas in Raleigh. This is only one of those workshops. I do lots of them. I hope to see you there. They're wonderful programs, lots of paint, lots of artists, and lots of instructors. You'll see us there. I can't wait to see you. Take care. And here's my latest announcement. It's all about trade shows. I'm going to be doing 3 of them this year. Can't wait. They're fantastic. But why do trade shows? Well, first of all, they're major exhibits of all the major art materials manufacturers. You know, with fantastic discounts. I know people that bring their trucks just so they can stock up on all the discounts. And they also bring in a lot of instructors like myself, and we do many 3-hour and sometimes 6-hour workshops. And we supply the art materials. How cool is that, right? So you can sign up early. Check out these 3 that I'm about to tell you about. All right, coming right up here on July 23rd, Burlington, Vermont. That's right there. That's the headquarters of Holbein. And I'm going to be there. Many other Holbein artists will be there. We do these fantastic workshops. Check it on my website. Next one after that will be in September 27th. Sponsored by Artisans of Santa Fe. And who doesn't want to go to Santa Fe? You know, you've seen all those wonderful photographs. It really does look like that. So that's another major art expo where fantastic discounts, and you'll get to meet and talk to the manufacturers that actually, the materials that you use. So that's pretty cool for you to meet all these people. Then Art of the Carolinas. Oh, we've been talking about that one all year. That is major. You know, that one is sponsored by Jerry's Artorama. And so that'll be in Raleigh, again, November the 8th. Sharon DiGiulio does a great job at organizing all of us crazy artists and getting us into the workshops we want to get into. That's fantastic. They treat us so well. That's why I do those particular 3 workshops. There are many more out there. They're the ones I can fit into my schedule. I'm so glad you were able to have a chance to take a look at this. Again, I'll see you in Burlington, Vermont, or Santa Fe, New Mexico, or Raleigh, North Carolina. Hey, sitting next to these palm trees reminds me of the January workshop coming up here in Puerto Vallarta, 10 miles south of Puerto Vallarta in Mexico in January. It's a beachside village, fishing village, a working village. We're having a fantastic time down there. I do it every year for many years now. And we all go down there and fly down. They pick us up at the airport. They take us 10 miles south of Puerto Vallarta to get out of town. And that's where we meet all the other artists, and we stay in one casa. It's fantastic. They feed us, they wine us and dine us, and the beach is right there. The atmosphere is wonderful. I do some of my best work there because we stay on the top floor that overlooks the entire beach area, the villa, and the ocean. You'll see whales dropping all over the place. It's fantastic. I hope to see you there at Casa de las Artistas. I wanted to say it right, in Mexico. See you then.